Welcome to the MLB Swing for the Fences show. Hope you guys and girls are having a great day. Got a 9-game slate today. Pitching up top, Scherzer, Rodon, I think are going to be the popular ones. You do have to pay for them. Do think there are some options down below as well. Hitting wise, man, we've seen the last couple of days. We've seen the slates. We've seen the hitting slate. The runs have not been scored too often. The weather has been cooling down a little bit. But hey, man, going yesterday, you were on the Twins. It worked out very well. They were led the slate yesterday with 9 runs. Excited to hear what you and Gary got to say, but I got to go to Gary first over there. The Braves are taking it too, man. Going's Mets right there. Today it'll be an interesting Scherzer against Odorizzi. What's your thoughts on that? How's everything been going over there, Gary?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a good few days. It's been a good 8 games. I think we're on an 8-game win streak after getting demolished in New York. Won the first 2 of this series, and Mets fans are just hoping that they can just win the next 2 because they got their studs pitching tonight and tomorrow. And I'm not sure who's pitching tomorrow. I think they're trying to give Max and Kyle Wright some time off. They might play pitch Freddie Tarnock, one of our top pitching prospects, tomorrow. So yeah, it's not looking good for us tonight. Odorizzi is not good. I would expect the Mets to get back in the win column here tonight, unfortunately for my Braves. But yeah, it's been a good week. Started my new job on Monday. Hashtag, that's why I got the collared shirt on, no hat. So yeah, ready to dive into the slate for sure.
Yeah, Uncle T said corporate. Gary, how's the job going so far, Gary?
I mean, I really haven't done much. You know how government works. I don't even have email access yet, so I haven't really done much so far this week.
Just chilling. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Chilling.
Yeah, man, head over to you. What's going on, man? How's your day going? What's your thoughts of this slate? Did you play any early MLB? I was not in the early MLB streets. I saw someone in chat said, glad I stayed off the early slate. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. If chalk busted, what's going on?
Yeah, no, I did not play the early slate. I'm assuming that guy didn't play Jake Cronenworth, who had a grand slam. I saw that. So I assume no Jake Cronenworth, no money. But should be a fun slate. Yesterday was good. The play of the day, Mr. 2K Nick Gordon. It was looking real bad, but then got the job done towards the end. So love seeing the Twins get the job done yesterday. So that was good. Hoping to have another good slate here, and hoping the Mets can definitely take it to the Braves because they need to these next 2 games, right? These are you got to win the games that you're supposed to win, right? I know it's a lame comment, but it is the truth. Some of the games that are must wins, you have to take. And so hopefully they can take it tonight. Interesting slate up top with some pitching. There's some really, not so great pitchers, but overall it's going to be interesting to talk about because there's not another offense that sticks out as a must play. I need to be on them, which I like these slates. That's where I think at times we can get a little bit different. That's where we can kind of see where people are gravitating towards and see if there's mistakes that people are making. Those are kind of the slates that I enjoy. So I'm excited to break this down.
Yeah, I think it's another slate where ownership kind of spread out. I think one team will get the most ownership. I think it's going to be the Rangers. They do have the highest implied total, but I don't think it's going to be like a Coors Field slate. You see anyone 30% plus or any of that. Gary, you weren't in the early streets, right? Now that you're corporate Gary, it's a little tougher.
I played some. I'm not doing anything this week, so I had plenty of time to put some lineups in.
How's it going? Did chalk but he said, I'm glad I didn't play it, that guy said.
Yeah, I had Molly. He got hurt in the second inning and only had 6 DraftKings points. Yeah, he had 60% owned too. So that definitely hurt. And definitely no Cronenworth. I mean, not many people had Cronenworth today, though. I think he was 4%. So
gotcha. Yeah, Mangone, you said your play of the day came through with Gordon. Who's play of the day? Franmil Reyes absolutely came through. And of course, my play of the day, dude hits it to the track. Guy makes a great play in center field. I thought he had it at first. Jimenez, he did not get the job done, unfortunately. The Guardians were a little hurtful for sure, but a lot of teams were hurtful yesterday. The Mariners, though, got to shout out the premium show. Hoop was on the Mariners on the free show. Then the premium show, they're all over the Mariners as well, and they came through at the end of the day as well. So let's get into this slate, though. Hopefully we can keep going, give them some winners. Hit that like button as always, please. Hit that big red subscribe button. We got Richie Smalls, Michael Knack, our boy Steve Boyton, our boy Uncle T, Rants, We the People in here, Nadesify, Bill Miner, Zodiac Pop. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Let's talk some baseball, though. Let's start right at pitching. Let's go we'll go AK and above to start on DraftKings. I mean, the two that are headlining this slate, Max Scherzer, Carlos Rodon, the two most expensive pitchers on the slate, but clearly the two best pitchers, in my opinion. Framber Valdez has been very good as well this year, gets the White Sox. He doesn't quite have that strikeout upside as the Scherzers and the Rodons, though. Eric Lauer in there, Gonsling, Corey Kluber. I don't think you're going to have too much interest outside some of the top guys, Gary, but what are your thoughts 8K and above at pitching?
Yeah, so tonight's slate's a little tougher. We don't have outside of Max and Rodon, we don't have any clear-cut options to go to for the most part, especially up in this top range. So, it's Max Scherzer, Rodon. I think they're both going to probably be close to 50% owned on the slate, just based on the context of who else we have, all the other options. And DK finally priced the pitcher above 11K. So I don't know if I'm going to get to Max today. It might be a mistake. He's just expensive. 11K. He obviously has upside in any matchup, even the Braves matchup. I mean, they're striking out over the last 30 days, 25% against right-handed pitching. So he could get the job done for sure. I'm just not sure I want to pay that tag. And I'm kind of thinking the same way on Rodon. I mean, just looking at recent performances for Rodon, I might be making a mistake on this slate, but my initial lean is just to fade both of these top two guys. There are three guys under 8K that I like quite a bit. And I think I might push my chips in on all three of those guys tonight.
Very contrarian. I like it. I do think Scherzer and Rodon are going to be the clear highest owned pitchers on this slate without a doubt. So you're not touching anyone 8K and above. No Valdez, Kluber, Lauer, Gonsolin, all that.
Framber has been awesome. I think Steve keeps on mentioning it. Like 19 straight quality starts for Framber, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. But man, his projection is right there around close to guys that I like that are a lot cheaper than him. So I'm not going to get to him. And Gonsolin, Lauer. The only guy I would have maybe a little bit of interest in would be Corey Kluber. He's not going to be owned at all against New York. The Yankees have just been really bad lately. But they did just call up Estevan Florial, one of their top prospects, and another prospect. So maybe that gets their bats going. I don't think I'm going to get to Kluber at 8-8, but if you look at the handedness chart on the site, the Yankees have been striking out quite a bit against right-handed pitching, and I don't hate it as a contrarian. I mean, we played Springs yesterday, so I don't hate Kluber. If you want to go there, he would probably be the only guy that I play up here if I did, but I don't think I will.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the Yankees had to be calling up their top guys. You couldn't have Trevino in the 5-hole, Aaron Hicks. I mean, that bottom of the order has just been so bad. So they had to do something. Yeah, it's Cabrera, hey, is the other one. I see Florial in the lineup and then Cabrera in the 6-hole, both 2K. So, yeah, we'll get to that. Man, going 8K and above for pitching. Rodon and Scherzer obviously headlining this slate. Ownership's going to follow. Talk about those two and anybody else you have interest in.
Yeah, I guess I'm different than Gary here. I'm definitely going to be, getting some exposure to these guys at the top, Rodon and Scherzer. I don't know how I'm going to do the mix of it. Like, I definitely will probably have at least one team that has both. I think then I'll go maybe I'll have one that has Scherzer and the next has Rodon, and then I'll just grab one of the cheaper options. So that's kind of my overall thought process on how I might construct, a couple different lineups and different ways that you can go about it. But I really do like the Scherzer and Rodon route. Obviously, yeah, you can say that, but then build a lineup, right? So this is what you're supposed to do. Go into SaberSim, lock both the guys and see what you're getting, right? That's super important to me. That's something that I like to look at. And that's one reason why I might like some bats that we're going to talk about today that might be a little off the board than normal, just to kind of make things work. I know in some of my content, I talked about liking the Giants a little bit earlier in this week, mainly because, if you played Brandon Crawford and JD Davis, they're both 2K. And what it allowed you to do for the rest of your lineup was important, is the mini stack, to be able to get those 2 stud pitchers and a good 5-man stack. So that's definitely some things I'm going to look at. I'll be looking at some cheaper 3-man stacks, I think, today, and to be able to try and get these routes with Scherzer and Rodon, because I want these 2 options. I think they're both really good plays. We should talk about some of these other guys like Valdez. I actually don't mind him. I do have some worries. He does have a 6.5K strikeout prop. Definitely not a bad option. He's going to be contrarian as well. So if you want to take a shot on him, I don't hate it. He's not someone I'll probably end up getting to, but something I'll consider. Same kind of thoughts with Gonsolin, but the more I look at these guys at like 10K and even like Eric Lauer, Corey Kluber, like Odorizzi, like I'd rather just go like way cheaper to be able to get some bigger bats in my lineup because I don't see a huge difference between some of these guys at the top and then some of these cheaper options. So that's kind of my overall thought process here on how I'm like handling this top end range. I would say that my favorite option is Max right now. I really do think he's going to, have a pretty big game. The one concern that you have with Max is, hey, the Braves, they are hitting pretty well. They're on an 8-game win streak. So that's something to be worried about. Rodon has a lot of good things in his favor. I know his projection's a little bit better as well. So overall, I think Max, Rodon, my two favorite options. I got Max as my number one. I got Rodon as my number two. And then I'm trying to get a little bit cheaper then. I'm not really trying to live in this like 9 and 8K range for some of these options. I'm trying to go way down low so I can like maybe get an expensive mini stack with it or just kind of load up on all my bats all around.
Yeah, I think going cheap, obviously the Scherzer and Rodon. If people don't go there, though, I do think some people will go cheap. They're definitely going to be lower owned than the top two. So interested to see what you two got to say about that. Marcus making me laugh in chat and Gary making me laugh even more. Marcus wondering where the hat was. Gary, I saw you typing out in chat right after you got done typing, threw that Atlanta Braves hat on. So I love to see that. I also wanted to shout out Nick in chat. He said, great call on the Mariners last night. That goes to Hoop and the premium guys. Took down the $1.20 max late slate with a single bullet. Awesome stuff, Nick. Congrats on that. Then Reezer said weather looks good for all games. It looks like they're a little scare or a little possible for delay in Atlanta and New York, maybe. But I think right now everything's going to play. Again, we're over 2 hours from the game. So in Discord, we'll be monitoring it on the Up to Lock show. If anything changes, we'll talk about it. But I think right now everything should play. But yeah, you definitely have to monitor weather. You don't want to play Scherzer, get hit with the rain delay, and then you're absolutely screwed. So right now I think everything's fine, but you always got to monitor some weather. And then I thought I saw something else. Oh, Jordan, I see Jordan in chat. What's going on, Jordan? Haven't seen you here in a little while. Hope everything's going well. So GQ, the Mariners stunk. What you mean? They were stinking before I went to bed. I thought they were busting. I wake up and they scored 8 runs. That was the second most on the slate. So I don't know what you're talking about. Certain Mariners probably did, but certain a couple of them got the job done, including Julio Rodriguez. All right, that's enough of that, though. Let's talk 8K and below for pitching. Gary, I got to go back to you because you don't have any interest in the top guys. So take it away with some of the guys that you have interest in 8K and below.
Yeah, so I think my top guy today is going to be Cal Quantrill against Detroit. His projection is really, really nice. He's got a 5.5 strikeout prop. It's sitting there at 7K. I think I'm just going to push all my chips in on him today. He's coming off he's coming off one of his probably the best start of his career against the Toronto Blue Jays in Toronto with 33 DraftKings points. He's gone 6 innings each of the last 3 starts. I think he gets his 20 plus here pretty easily in this matchup. He's probably going to be a little bit popular. People are like Mangone said, I think people are going to pick one of Max or Rodon and then go down here and play one of these guys. And Cal Quantrill has the biggest projection of anybody down here. So I think that will probably be the popular route tonight. I'm just going to go 2 guys down here. One other guy I like is Jordan Montgomery, 6,900. Man, I think getting out of Yankee Stadium is going to do him a lot of good. Facing this Colorado team outside of Coors, like his projection is right there with Quantrill's projection. So like him a ton. And the only other guy that I have interest in this range, he's making his return to the big leagues. We played him a lot early in the season. Roansy Contreras at 7,800, even against Boston. I don't mind picking on Boston when they're outside of Fenway Park. So I like him quite a bit. He's got, I know Steve likes his K over prop at 5+ Ks on FanDuel. So I like this a lot for the spot, even with Kiki back in the lineup. So those 3 are going to be my focus tonight, and I'm going to be probably all in on Cal Quantrill.
Yeah, I like it. Roansy, I saw someone mention him in chat, so I'm glad you brought him up. Mangone, I'll throw it over to you. One other name I do want to mention that I want you to talk about a little bit, Cole Reagans, all the way down there at 5.4K. I'm not sure you need it on this slate. Gary's shaking his head no. That's why I didn't ask you, Gary, because you didn't mention him. Yeah, this Oakland team is a little more pesky than people think. I don't think you really need to get there on this slate, especially when you like Scherzer, you like Rodon, you're expecting big gains out of them. You're not expecting 20 from Reagans, but if he got you 15, would you be happy on this slate? Talk about him than anybody else you like 8K and below.
Yeah, I mean, let's start with the Cole Ragans thing. So I think the reason why people are considering it is mainly like you play Cole Ragans just as like a pure punt, right? If you had to go all the way down to the bottom of the basement, like he is the guy I think you would pick. Now, I'm not looking to do that. I don't think it's the greatest idea on this slate. So, but I think that's the reasoning. I know Hoop talks about that a bunch. Sometimes it's like there's slates where you just pure punt it. I don't think you need to do that on this slate. I do want to talk about the two options that Gary discussed a lot, Cal Quantrill and Jordan Montgomery. So let's definitely address Jordan Montgomery first. Thing I want to talk about him is he obviously was someone they traded for, so they saw a reason that they wanted him. Who knows if they're going to change like pitch mix, right? What they're going to do, but they went for him for a reason. Lando brought up a good point that Gary said too. Gary makes a great point about Montgomery and the massive park upgrade. I mean, it is a nice little park upgrade for sure, getting out of Yankee Stadium for him. So I think those are really good points brought up by the chat and Gary as well. My lean is Montgomery over Quantrill. I have to pick one, right? Like, I just feel like, I know Gary, I understand his perspective. He's fading the two guys at the top, and at pitcher, you got to make some kind of stand. And if Gary Stan is going to be fade the two guys at the top, listen, he doesn't have to like think about anything else going from there. If you're going to like not play both those guys, like you're just instantly going to be different right away. So for me, I got to find like some kind of like, pitching stand to take. And I like to try and make like one stand at pitcher for sure, maybe at least one at bats. And then it kind of like all works itself out. So my pitching stand, I think, is going to be Montgomery over Quantrill. Reason why is like, listen, I talked about it yesterday. Zach Plesac. I don't know what he ended up coming in at ownership wise, but like Plesac wasn't that great. He just saw Detroit. And on top of it, like Cal Quantrill, he just feels like this exact same play as like Zach Plesac to me yesterday. He's going to be 20% owned. Plesac is a little worse, I think, than Quantrill, but they're pretty similar players. And yes, 5.5 strikeout prop, it's appealing. I agree on that. But at the ownership, I want to fade one of them. And I think the guy for me to fade is Quantrill, mainly because I think that's most people will gravitate towards, because they're going to see that matchup against Detroit and they're just going to assume, okay, Detroit, they strike out a lot and all that stuff. But again, I think Scherzer, Rodon are more priorities for me than a guy like Quantrill. And then I had to pick between Quantrill or Montgomery, and my lean is just to take Montgomery. I think you can go the other way. If you want to say it's Quantrill and fade Montgomery, that's fine. But that's just kind of my overall lean on how I'm handling it on this slate. And those are really like the three pitchers I'm looking at. I'm not really looking to go to too many other options. It's tough down here, man. Like Domingo Germán has an interesting projection. I do worry about him a bit, mainly because Tampa Bay, I believe, is this game's in New York, right? Or did it switch parks? No,
it's in New York.
Okay, I thought I heard someone say that it did. But with it being in New York, like Big T talks about this a lot. Like Germán, he's been really, really strong. He's been really, really strong as of late. Only giving up a run, I think, in 2 games. And then the game before that was only 2 runs. Some of the numbers don't look great, but like Tampa Bay in that ballpark, it's a big like upgrade for them to be in Yankee Stadium. And, we saw Garrett Cole. We saw that Tampa Bay get to him a little bit, right? And those are the things that I worry about, like Big T talks about. Like these ballparks, sometimes it's important to attack them with certain pitchers and certain bats. I'm not saying I want to attack Domingo Germán, but the point I'm getting at is like, I don't know if I want to go to Domingo Germán because I'm very much worried about Tampa Bay hitting in this ballpark. And Germán is not this guy that's just like an absolute stud. So overall, my pitching pool is really simple. It looks like it's Scherzer 1, it's Rodon 2, and it's Montgomery 3. And I don't have a lot of other guys that I'm really interested in right now.
Yeah, I think we talked about it yesterday too. I thought keeping a tighter pitching pool yesterday and then spreading out more with bats made more sense. And I think today makes the same case. And it sounds like you're that way. Sounds like Gary's that way since he's fading the top 2. So Gary, I mean, I think I kind of know what you're about to say for your top 3 pitchers, at least your number 1, but rank your top 3 in order.
Yeah, so it's going to be Cal Quantrill, Jordan Montgomery, and Roansy. Top 3.
That's what I expected too. So, hey, that's pitching on the slate. Gary is fading the 2 chalkiest guys, Rodon and Scherzer. And then like Mangone mentioned, like you don't have to worry about ownership at all if you're not playing either of those 2. Mangone's likes those 2 up there and getting Montgomery. But I do think the route to take is keeping your pitching pool more condensed, unless you just love one offense today or love 2 or 3 offenses. But in my eyes, I do not see like a clear offense. So I think that's the best approach. That's pitching on this slate, though. As always, hit that like button for us, please. Hit that big red subscribe button. We always do appreciate it. Let's talk some members never win. We got Jerker with $1,100. Michael Smith, $20,000 in PGA. Jerker was PGA as well. Simo, $14,000 in MMA. Dante, 4,700 in MLB. And then Simo again, 35,000 in MLB. So congrats to all of you guys. And if you do want to get on this segment, we have a members never win segment in Discord. You can drop your screenshots in there and you have a chance to be on this. If you do want to be a member and you're not right now, we do have the promo code going right now, NFL15. Gets you 15% off every single month for the life of your subscription if you don't cancel. NFL, we're counting down the days till NFL season. Huge prize pools as always. Tons of content. Cannot wait for that. We do have preseason football, though, going on. We have golf. Tambo BigT just got done with the premium show. So if you're in the golf streets, always big prize pools there. Check out that show that those two did. Golf, I already mentioned golf. NASCAR was on a heater last week. We got MMA, we got pay-per-view this week. So many sports going on. So NFL 15 is the promo code. Gets you 15% off. Let's go game by game, starting with the first one of the night. Tampa Bay Rays, New York Yankees, Corey Kluber, Domingo Germán on the mound. I'll go to you, Mangone. Any Yankees, any Rays for you?
Yeah, I mean, at first I was definitely considering some Rays, and maybe they're better as like a mini stack, and I should consider them a little bit, especially those lefties, right? Like a David Peralta for 3.2K. That's not bad. Maybe G-Man Choi for 3.3. Getting to play in Yankee Stadium, it's a short porch for the lefties too. So Brandon Lau, if you have a 5.1K, I think he's a pretty good option at second base. So I think these lefties are really intriguing and in play on Tampa Bay, mainly because, again, I'm not trying to like go out of my way to attack Germán, but it's a good park upgrade for the Rays. And again, those lefties, they get that short porch, and Germán is giving up some power against lefties. So I think it's interesting as like a mini stack for some of the value plays, but not really looking to like jump all over this game. You can make the argument like the Yankees, like I do feel like they're going to get like a bit under owned today. And like as a full 5-man stack, it's probably not the worst idea to take a shot on. I was going to pull up some numbers on Kluber and just see how he's been like last 30 days. Cause maybe there could be something there that's like, encouraging. And yeah, I mean, if you look, he's been really bad against like lefties. So of course that's a good ballpark too. So like maybe taking a shot on like, Anthony Rizzo. You got this Oswaldo Cabrera guy, right? 2K. He's obviously somebody you put at second or shortstop and be that full punt to make things work for your team. So there are some options here to consider. Problem with these Yankees lineup though is like, look at that 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's kind of getting rough down there. So maybe it's better for like that mini stack. Like let's say you're doing the approach that Gary's taking where he's spending down for both his starting pitchers. Well, if you spend down for both your starting pitchers, you can afford a pretty expensive mini stack. So maybe a mini stack at Judge and Anthony Rizzo with a random one-off, or like Judge and Anthony Rizzo with like a Trevino or maybe one of these other 2K guys to help make everything work. It could be a really interesting option on this slate. So, yeah, I guess I have a little interest in this game, but it's mainly from a mini stack perspective. It depends on kind of what lineup you're putting out there.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, you look at this Yankees lineup, like Gary mentioned a little earlier, it is different from what we've seen recently. They called up Cabrera. They called up Florial again. You're talking about lefties in this park against Kluber. Cabrera switch hitter, second and shortstop eligible, min price. Florial, min price in the outfield, also a lefty. If you're playing Scherzer and Rodon, like I think you could do a lot worse than mini stacking those. You're not playing those guys, Gary. So talk about those two bats, just how they project, how well you think they'll be in the MLB. I think a couple people would like to hear that. And then any interest in Tampa or the Yankees for you.
So Estevan Florial is definitely the better prospect and the better hitter. So if I was going to play any of those guys, it would definitely be Florial in the 8th spot. I'm not going to have much of this game though. I mean, I think you're going to see a little bit of ownership on Benintendi, on Judge, on Rizzo. I think just because they got a 4.5 total. I mean, I don't know. I just can't get behind anything in this game. I want to like Tampa Bay, but man, Tampa Bay just doesn't do anything for me. I mean, they haven't won me anything pretty much all season. So I know they got Harold Ramirez back in the lineup, and he was good earlier this season. But I just can't do it. I'm out on bats on this game for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense. There's 9 games on this slate. You don't got to get to them all. Let's get to the next game on the slate. Boston Red Sox, Pittsburgh Pirates, Rich Hill, Roansy Contreras on the mound. I'll go back to you, Gary. You liked Roansy, so I assume no Red Sox. They are sitting at like that 4.5 implied total. Again, like we talked about yesterday on the slate, there's one team above 5 total today. That's Texas. Then you got a couple teams that are sitting there at 4.5. So we talk about it. I'll probably talk about it a lot as we get throughout the year, but we're not going to be seeing these 5.8 implied totals for a lot of teams. So you like Roansy, though. I don't think you're getting the Red Sox. I don't think you're getting the Pittsburgh, but maybe I'm wrong. Talk about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't hate Boston. I mean, I do like Roansy in the spot, but I mean, I don't mind if you're playing a lot of lineups, having some Boston in this game. I mean, Roansy has been. I mean, if you look at his season numbers, he's allowing a lot of power to right-handed bats. His strikeout. I mean, I think he's got the strikeout stuff to kind of overcome that. But I don't hate it. They got Kiki back in the lineup. He's batting in the 9 hole. I probably won't have much, if any, in my sets tonight. And on the Pittsburgh side, man, I always love to target Rich Hill, but I just can't do it. They're using Rich Hill as more of like an opener. They've said it before. He's going to go 3 to 4 innings, and then they're going to bring in the bullpen.
That lineup is gross too, though, man.
Yeah, it's so bad. On top of the gross lineup, you're going to have a bullpen game after that. So definitely no Pittsburgh for me. But like I said, I don't hate Boston mini stacks.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. That Pittsburgh lineup is so gross, man. Going Boston, Pittsburgh, talk about it.
Yeah, I don't mind some Boston stacks here. Like mainly like mini. I guess you could do the 5-man, but if I do it, I want to make sure I'm getting in these big bats, right? Like I make sure to prioritize. Like I don't want my team to be like Eric Hosmer, Arroyo, and like Reese McGuire as like 3 of the 5. Let's at least clarify that. Like, let's make sure we're getting in JD Martinez, Alex Verdugo, Bogarts, Devers, Pham. Like, let's get in like 4 or at least 3 of them. I think that matters. And then Kike Hernandez down there for 4.1K. Not a bad way to take a shot at him in the 9 hole. I'm assuming he'll play most of the game. I don't know why they got him in the 9 hole there, but yeah, should be interesting. I think that the Red Sox, they're in play. I don't know if they're going to end up making my content, right? My 3 max and single entry stuff. I don't know if I'm going to put them on there as one of the offenses. I'm kind of struggling with finding, my favorite offenses to put on there. And I need to find like the right mix to be able to, put like my top end arms, and I need some like cheaper bats to make it work. And Boston, if I do play them, like I want to play like the expensive bat. So I don't know if they'll make that final cut, but they're definitely a team I'm considering on this slate against Contreras. He's a younger pitcher. He's had some struggles against power righties too, which, hey, that's what the Red Sox have. So at least that aligns there. I'm sure the Red Sox could easily let us down too, but not going to be like a top offense for me on this slate.
Yep, makes some sense. Before we get to the next game, let's see, 375 watching, 140 likes. I mean, 300 wouldn't be fair. I don't want to say 300. I want to give a realistic number. Got an early slate, not as many people watching today. 225. I think that's very reasonable. So you guys should be able to get that done. So do us a favor, please hit that like button, hit that big red subscribe button so you get the plays of the day. 225 should not be very hard. Next game on the slate, Detroit Tigers, Cleveland Guardians, Daniel Norris and Cal Quantrill on the mound. Man, these Guardians, hurtful. I'll go back to you, Mangone. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, you got to take like stands on slates, and like, I don't know, Guardians like 7.5 total all around. Yes, I understand it's because the Tigers total's low, but I don't know. I just don't think I need to go to the Guardians. If they beat me, they beat me. I'm just taking that stand, I think, today. So yeah, I'm going to fade this game completely and move on to the next one.
I hope Gary says the same thing and isn't going to talk me into these Guardians again.
I'm going right back, Title.
Oh, all right. Talk to me.
I got to go right back. I mean, Daniel Norris is just not good. He's going to pitch 3 or 4 innings. Then they're going to get a righty back in there. We're going to see, a couple at bats against a right-handed pitcher. So I like him quite a bit. You got Molly in the lineup. He's been hitting the ball really well as catcher option. Oscar Gonzalez against the lefty, 3,500. Like that price a lot. Of course, Jose Ramirez. And don't forget about Andres Gimenez, even though he's batting in the 7 hole against the lefty. I like this team quite a bit. I like him as a 5-man stack and a mini stack. So I like them a lot. They were very hurtful to us yesterday. I was on them as well. I think they're going to win us some money back here today.
All right, Gary. I got cores on the site today. I'll consider it. I was writing them off, but you're back on them. I saw you had a little mini stack yesterday in your cores. I mean, Jimenez. If I do play the Guardians, I always say Jose Ramirez. I'm gonna play Jimenez though. No one's playing him in the 7 hole at 5K. Second base eligible, swinging the hot stick. Yeah, he got 2 yesterday. Like I said, he just missed at the warning track yesterday. Center fielder made a good play, but man, I hope you're right, Gary. I hope they do treat us well. Next game on the slate. Ooh, I'm excited for you two to talk about this one. Mangone's New York Mets, Gary's Atlanta Braves, Max Scherzer, Jake Odorizzi on the mound. I mean, Mangone, I know you're a Mets fan, but I always got to start with Gary. You're not even close to a fan like Gary is over there. Gary, you think the Mets get the job done today? Picking on Scherzer. You don't have any Scherzer, or you're not playing any of them. Are you going to just get leverage right away with your Braves, and then any Mets against Odorizzi?
Yeah, I mean, I can't play the Braves here. I'm not going to play Max. I'm just going to hope that he gets he has like a 20 DraftKings point performance. The Braves get a few hits, maybe get a bomb or two, and the game ends like 4-2. That's kind of what I'm hoping here. The Braves are probably going to be on the losing end of that. I will succeed that there. No Braves. I can't do it. I mean, I don't hate though Vaughn Grissom. He's 2K. He's still 2K. I can play Vaughn Grissom at 2K every day. I think he scored a run in every game he's played in since he got called up. He's getting on the base pass. So no Braves though. The Mets is another story for me. I'm very torn on what to do, and it's not because I'm a Braves fan. I mean, Odorizzi, he's not good, but I think he's probably going to go 4 innings, maybe 5 if he's doing well. And I don't think he's going to be doing well. I'm not totally sure who the Braves are going to be bringing in. They promoted Freddie Tarnock from AAA yesterday. He's our second-ranked pitching prospect in our system. They might be saving him for tomorrow, though. I'm not totally sure. Either way, our bullpen is really good. It's one of the best bullpens in baseball. You just look at the numbers last 30 days. They've been really good. They have all their stud. They have Mentor available, Matzik available, Colin McHugh available. They have all their stud pitchers available for this game, and they're going to try to win this game. So you're going to see all the best relievers of Odorizzi only goes 4 innings, and you're going to get just straight up great pitchers for the rest of the game. I'm very torn. They don't hit a lot of bombs. They do have their top prospect in the lineup in Brett Beatty. He's stone minimum 2K, batting in the 8-hole. He's not going to be owned. I don't hate taking a shot on him because he's got huge power. But I don't think I'm going to 5-man stack these Mets tonight.
Yeah, a couple people in chat were wanting you to touch on Beatty a little bit. I saw Social in chat. He said Beatty is one of the top prospects with big power. So, yeah, Odorizzi's not good. But everything you said at the bullpen, if you only think he's going to throw 4 innings, I hate picking on bullpen games, especially good bullpen games at that. So, man, I think the Mets can get to him early, but they need to get to him early. Otherwise, you're not in a good spot. What about Robbie Grossman? Is he going to give a little back-to-back action?
No, I'll pass.
And then Michael Harris, you got to talk about that a little. What an absolute steal you guys got on this kid.
Nobody in baseball has been doing this, and Anthopoulos is just, they've seen enough. They're like, okay, I want this guy to be in my lineup for the next 10 years. I look on Twitter and it's like, oh, people, the Braves are being racist for not, paying them what they're due. I'm like, the dude just got $80 million. Like, how is that bad? He was going to be making like $600,000 for the next couple of years without this contract. So, I love what Anthopoulos is, just a wizard. We have a great core group of guys. And I think we still have money for Dansby if we want to re-sign him because he's a free agent. If we want to relock up Max Fried here too. So definitely love it. Harris is just a certified stud. You can play him against a righty any day because he smashes right-handed pitching.
It's a business at the end of the day. You don't need to sign that contract that you're offered. He's correct. 21 years old. That 82 million, that you can do. Yeah, I agree. Could he probably have got more? If he keeps playing as well as he did, yeah, he could get more of that for sure. I think it's a steal for the Braves as well, but a 21-year-old getting 82 million, how are you going to complain if you're him as well? Who knows what happens in your career? So yeah, it's a business though. People are saying that they're robbing these kids or whatever. That's just a dumb statement in my opinion. Mangone, are your Mets going to get to Jake Odorizzi? Are you going to target any of them? And then talk about the Braves.
Yeah, I feel like I was just on Brave Sports Radio 650 The Chop or something, just some terrible Atlanta Brave radio.
Hey, I was it. I kept bringing it up. I like hearing this with Gary.
Oh man, painful to hear, but let's talk about this game because it's an interesting one. Gary brings up good points about the bullpen. I do wonder, let's say this game does get out of hand, right? Let's say the Mets do just pound Odorizzi early. Do the Braves even save those bullpen arms for that like upcoming series, like, do they decide like, hey, the Astros are coming up, like they are going to need those arms there too. So it is something to think about. We don't know the answer to that, right? So my thought process is, well, listen, if Odorizzi goes out there and he like just pitches like, you know, he only gives up like a run or two, like, yeah, you're going to see those bullpen arms and it's going to hurt. It's kind of like when you used to run to the Yankees, right? You'd see the, you know, some of the pitchers they had like maybe a couple of years ago, you'd see him go like 5 innings. You'd be like, well, I'm screwed because now I'm going against this Yankees.
Who, CC Sabathia?
No, yeah, probably CC. You're right. He probably went like 4 or 5, and then they'd be like, okay, he got through it, and then we got the bullpen. But that's the point I'm getting at is like, my plan is like, listen, if the Mets don't smash Odorizzi early, that's fine. Like, I'm okay. I'm not going to complain in the 7th inning when like the good, like, you know, bullpen guys are in there. One thing I want to call out with Odorizzi, one, been really bad against righties. I know Lindor has some interesting BVP. I saw he's like 11 for 28. So I thought that was intriguing. Odorizzi is also a fly ball guy. And on slates where we don't think there's going to be a lot of hitting, I like attacking those fly ball pitchers. Like Tristan McKenzie's a great example. He's a good pitcher, but when he goes bad, he's a fly ball guy and he gives up a lot of home runs. So, that's what I'm thinking with Odorizzi. I want to try and find some home runs here. One last thing I want to mention on Odorizzi specifically. This dude's pitched a lot this year. He has not played against, one good baseball team. I'm just going to do the schedule rundown for you guys. And you can tell me, like, just if you see a good baseball team, just stop me, okay? Be like, oh, that's a really good baseball team. Tell me that.
Seattle's good.
Yeah, Seattle's not bad, but that's like the best. That's the
started
best.
off.
Oh, you're right. You got
your Mets in there.
Okay, but let's just let me run through it. It's a disaster. It's the Angels, Seattle, the Angels, Texas, Seattle, Detroit, Boston, Kansas City, Oakland, Seattle, the Mets, and Miami. And I'll agree, Seattle, good team. Not going to argue on that, but they're not for sure making the playoffs.
What about your Mets?
Yes, my Mets, of course, they're a good team. But here's the thing. They just saw him recently. So like, that's even more of a thing in his favor. So the point I'm getting at is I'm betting on the Mets today. I don't know if it's my bias, but I'm betting on them to have a big game. It's nice they have some of those value plays within the lineup too, to help things work. And I'm going to try and like go that 5-man stack, jam those top end pitchers and find a cheap mini stack. I think it's a really good route today where I think others are going to struggle to do it. They might end up going down to some of these other cheaper pitchers to get a better mini stack, when I'm just going to embrace some of these crappier 2K mini stacks and just kind of hope it all works in my favor.
I was going to say, the Mets are not going to get ownership because you look at their prices outside of Beatty at third base. I don't even know if he's going to get really ownership. He's 2K though. The next cheapest guy, Canna, 3.7K. You get 5K, 5.1, 6K, 5.5, 4.4, 4.7, 3.7, 2K, 4.1. If you want to play Scherzer and Rodon, which are going to be the 2 highest owned pitchers for sure, you just can't 5-man stack this team. So they definitely are going to go under owned. I think Odorizzi's bad. The bullpen a little concerned, but if they jump on him early, you got to expect it. Why would you run your best relievers out if you're down 6-0 or whatever? So yeah, I think the Mets are a little interesting, especially on this slate. Like we're talking about all this stuff. 1 implied total over 5. It's going to be uncomfortable with the 5-man stack as it has been the past couple of days. But I think it's an interesting spot. Let's get to the next game on the slate. The Colorado Rockies, the St. Louis Cardinals, Herman Marquez and Jordan Montgomery on the mound. It's 80 degrees in St. Louis. It's 80 degrees in Atlanta as well, which is pretty warm for this slate as we've been talking about. I'll go right back to you, Mangone. You liked Montgomery, so I assume no Rockies. Any Cardinals?
Yeah, I don't love this game. I know Marquez is someone that has had struggles early in the year. Let me just look because it was something I had caught on to, and it definitely benefited me a little bit. But like he had a lot of issues with righties for a short period of time. And it's kind of flipped the other way, at least last 30 days. So I don't know, but these righties on the Cardinals, they're very good. They can get a hold of almost anyone. I just don't know if this is a slate for me where I'm going to go the Cardinals. I understand, like, yeah, they got some good, like, some good value plays at the top. Like you got Nootbaar in there as a value play. You got Gorman in there who's pretty good. Dickerson, not a bad value play. So I can see why the Cardinals make sense. I think personally for me though, I'm just going to fade them. I'm good. I'm out on this game.
Garrett.
I think St. Louis is a little interesting. Like Mango said, Marquez, looking at his last 30 numbers against lefties, he's just getting whopped like a lot. 462 WOBA allowed, 292 ISO allowed, 94 mile-an-hour exit velocity allowed. Definitely like the lefties here. They're cheap too. Lars Nootbaar, 2,300. He's done work for us before. Brendan Donovan, 3K. Corey Dickerson, 2,100. So if you're trying to get 2 top-end pitching, you can get different from playing like a Texas, from a Texas mini stack who's going to be really popular today. You can go to a St. Louis here pretty easily and still get those top end pitching. So I don't hate it. I don't think I'm going to have it because I'm spending down on pitching. I don't need to save money that much on tonight's slate. So, but I definitely prefer the St. Louis side on this game, and I can't do Oakland because I'm pretty much all in on Jordan Montgomery tonight.
Gorman, too, swinging a hot stick, 4.5K, but you fill out second base. He's got some pop, too. So if I play in St. Louis, I think he's a good option to get in there. We got 4 games left on the slate. We got 180 likes right now. I set the bar at a very, very low number so you guys can get it. 225 is the number, 45 more likes. We appreciate it if you do smash it. Next game on the slate, Oakland Athletics, Texas Rangers, Adam Oller and Cole Reagans on the mound. Going right back to you, Gary. I think the Rangers are going to be the chalkiest team on the slate. What is that number going to be? Chalk is different in every single slate. That I don't know, but I feel confident they will be the highest owned with the highest implied total. You look at some of the price like Semien 4.3, Nate Lowe 3K. They got the catcher in there who's min price. What are your thoughts on Texas and then any A's for you?
Man, it's really hard for me not to play any Texas tonight. This Adam Oller feller is not good. He might be the worst pitcher in baseball. He's got a 6.
Worse than Urania?
Definitely worse than Urania.
Oh,
Urania limits damage, and he doesn't really, he gets a lot of ground balls.
Last time we talked a month ago, you said he is the worst pitcher in baseball.
I have changed my mind.
All right.
Adam Oller is really bad. He gives up so many fly balls, so much hard contact. I've stacked against this guy every time, and you're right. This Rangers team is going to be really popular on this slate. Everybody outside of Corey Seager is under 4,300, and they have multiple that are 2K stone minimum. My favorites are definitely the top of the order. No need to get different. Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Nate Lowe, and Adolis Garcia are definitely my primary targets from this team. I really like Adolis Garcia in this spot. I think he probably comes in the lowest of those guys, righty. So love this team, and I'm going to have a lot of Texas tonight.
So it is Nate Lowe and it's Brandon Lowe. I always ask. Someone's told me before. I always forget.
Yes.
All right. Nate Lowe, Brandon. I'll probably forget again, but I'm always curious every time I see it. Mangone, Texas A's.
Yeah, I kind of like this Texas spot. I do not think it's a bad one to go to. My biggest problem, I would say, with Texas is ballpark's not great, but this Adam Oller guy, he's not that good. So definitely down with attacking him. Now let's look at the lineup and kind of discuss some of the benefits of playing these Rangers here. Marcus Semien, only 4.3K, and second base isn't great. I know he's dirt cheap on FanDuel. He was 2.4 the other day. I believe he's probably still cheap.
He's still 2.4.
Yep, I figured. So, but I think Marcus Semien, really good play. Corey Seager, 5.1K. I assume he'll be a popular shortstop option or one that people are definitely considering. Nate Lowe at 3K. That's a really nice price tag against a bad pitcher with a lefty against a righty, and 3K in the 3-hole. That's really intriguing. Adolis Garcia, 4.2K. We know the power he has. And then the one thing that they have that I absolutely love is this Valoria guy, right? 2K. At catcher. It's just a full-on punt. If it doesn't work out and he gets a walk or something, that's fine. That can still win it for you. And there's a lot of good other value plays down there, right? There's Tavares at 2.6. There's Brad Miller, who I know Big T loves to play. It's a big platoon kind of play. Brad Miller can easily get a hold of Oller and hit a home run at 2K in the outfield. Josh Smith, he was, batting towards the top of the lineup earlier in the season. So overall, this Texas team, I think they make for really good mini stack opportunities. For instance, if you did a Valoria, you did a Brad Miller and a Nate Lowe, that's a pretty strong little stack. I think you can do as a mini stack. And you could incorporate that with some really big bats and then the 2 top end arms. So I think overall, it's pretty intriguing to play these Rangers. I'm definitely considering it. And I don't mind Oakland on the flip side as well. Mainly though, again, I'm not doing a 5-man stack. I'm not saying Oakland, we load up on them. The reason to play Oakland is grab a Chad Pinder at 2K as maybe a one-off, or maybe do a mini stack with a Jonah Bride. You got both those guys in there for 2K price tags. One of them could easily hit a home run. Both of them could easily just go for a walk or two. And that could still be part of the equation to get you to the top of the leaderboards because the bats that it allows you to get with those top end arms. So I'm not sleeping on Oakland completely either. I think 9 total here in Texas. Yes, this is not a ballpark we typically like to attack, but you got to take note that Vegas gave this a 9 total. You never really see that much in Texas.
Yeah, Texas definitely are getting a lot of respect against this awful pitcher. Gary, it sounds like you led me the wrong way, man. Peter Lally and Chad's they're saying it's Nate Lowe, Nathaniel. I'm getting corrected a little bit. Nathaniel Lowe and Brandon Lau. So everyone says something different. I have no clue, and I'm probably going to keep saying it wrong the whole time. But anytime I see it, I get confused every single time. But I know there's pronounced differently. I trust you, Peter Lally. Brandon Lau, Nate Lowe. Hopefully I do remember that. Or Nathaniel for you, Bill Miner. 3 games left on the slate. Houston Astros, Chicago White Sox, Framber Valdez, and Michael Kopech on the mound. I'll go to you, Gary. I mean, man, I just do not think Michael Kopech isn't right. He has not been good. I think the Astros are in a good spot today. Talk about them and any White Sox against Framber. I don't think you're going to say yes.
Yeah, so I'm going right back to the Astros and targeting Kopech. They're my top stack on the slate. I really like this spot for him. Kopech, I mean, he paid off everybody as kind of a chalky pitching option against Detroit last time. Good for him, but he's going to get brought back down to earth here pretty significantly. I think this team is going to smash. I like the whole lineup, top to bottom. Obviously, the lefties, Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, priority plays. But yeah, I absolutely love this stack, top to bottom, and they are my top stack on the slate.
Right there with you. What's staring me right in the face is Kyle Tucker, Trey Mancini, and my boy Jeremy Pena. That 5 through 7. Mancini's treated me really well since coming over there. I never get to Gary L because of lack of power, even though, I mean, man, he's swinging a hot stick. I mean, he gets on base for sure, but Mancini, you can't play him in the outfield too. If you want to play both of them, you can, but 5 through 7 is staring me in the face. I definitely like the Astros today. Mangone, do you like the Astros and do you like the White Sox?
Yeah, no interest in the White Sox. Hey, it is White Sox against the lefty, but man, this lineup sucks now, man.
They haven't treated you well this year. You've been way off that. You were all in last year or 2 years ago, both maybe, and then
I haven't played him that much this year, Tyler. To be fair, I fell for it a couple times, and it's been hurtful. It's definitely been hurtful, and I'm not falling for it here. But overall, like this lineup's not good right now, right? Like look at it. So it's like I'm not that interested in that. Astros are in play. I think they're good, but like, I don't know. I feel like I might just push more on the Mets. Like, I don't know. That's kind of my overall thought process right now. I might take a stand and not literally look to the Astros as much as I think. I want to run some stuff a little bit. Like when I kind of get off the show, update the content. Cause yes, there are good options. Like I'm not going to tell you that Kyle Tucker is a bad play, but I do think this is an offense that people are gravitating towards. And again, like if this is the offense that people are going to gravitate towards on this slate, like their implied total is not even that great. Also, Michael Kopech, like a lot of people might look at him and say, oh, like he's someone we were picking on before and like he's been bad, but his numbers have kind of gotten a little bit better. Now you can make the argument that the matchups have been good. So that's a totally fair point. But I don't know if the Astros are going to be a little more popular. I don't know. I might just look at some other offenses and just kind of hope it works out in my favor. But the thing that's really encouraging about the Astros, the price tags in their lineup. Kyle Tucker at 4.5. Mancini's even got a good price at 4.1. I think it's still pretty good at that price tag. Gurriel 3.2. That's a good value play. And they always got like cheap outfielders like a McCormick, a Maldonado at the catcher position. So there's a lot of ways to make that Astro stack always work. So I understand why people like it here.
Yeah, and I said 5 through 7. I got to say 4 through 7, man. Alex Bregman is back. He is swinging a very hot stick too, so I wouldn't leave him out as well. Top to bottom, I think you can get to this lineup. Did either of you guys say, I was on Twitter and I saw this, I was dying laughing. Chicago White Sox fans screaming at Tony La Russa to pinch run Adam Engel, and did you see him eventually do that? Like it took him a couple seconds. He called time, walked out there, and he listened to that fan. Did you see that, Gary?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, I'm surprised he heard it because he's normally asleep.
Yeah, I mean, how he still has a job, man. This White Sox team should be so much better than they are, and yeah, that was that just made me laugh. And imagine following what a random fan says. Yeah, he's got some issues, but yeah, that made me laugh. 2 games left on the slate: Los Angeles Dodgers, Milwaukee Brewers, Tony Gonsolin, and Eric Lauer on the mound. Man, I like these Dodgers today against Eric Lauer, but I wish they roll out a little better lineup. Hanser Alberto, Trace Thompson there, Austin Barnes. Like I wish Will Smith or something was in the lineup, but hey, Dodgers, I think they're in a good spot today. Gary, do you think the Dodgers are in a good spot?
Yeah, I was talking to Steve earlier in Discord about the Dodgers. I didn't really have much interest until I looked at Eric Lauer's last 30-day numbers. I mean, he's got almost a 6 xFIP overall over the last 30 days. He's walking a ton of batters, which is not good against this team that is very patient anyway. I mean, and my interest, I mean, I'm spending down for 2 pitchers for one reason, and that's to get Mookie Betts and Trey Turner in my lineups at $6K a piece, basically on DraftKings. Like them a ton here. I like Trace Thompson. Trace Thompson's treated me well against lefties and righties for that matter on the season. 3,100, like him. Chris Taylor, 3,700. Nobody's going to play Chris Taylor. I mean, nobody ever plays Chris Taylor. He's always low owned.
Went deep yesterday.
So yes, sign me up for some Dodgers. They're my second favorite stack on the slate.
I like it. What about, would you get to Hanser Alberto, second, third base eligible, or Austin Barnes? Those were the two that, Barnes fills out a catcher position.
Yeah, I probably no Hanser Alberto, but yeah, I'll have Barnes in a 5-man stack for sure.
Yep, makes some sense. No Brewers for you, I take it?
No Brewers.
Mangone, Brewers, Dodgers.
Yeah, I think I'm good on the Brewers. I don't think I need to go there. I don't want to attack Gonsolin. And then, I don't know, Dodgers, I just don't think I need to go today against Lauer. I understand if you want to take the chance. I mean, they're a power offense, right? They could easily do really well. They're going to be lower owned. I don't think anyone's really talking about them. And it's a weird slate, right? Where like, there's just like, not like these like amazing like totals everywhere. So could they be the team that pops off and just happen to have like a great offense, like beat up like a decent pitcher? Yeah, I think it could easily happen. So if you're on the Dodgers, like feel free to stick with that conviction on it. It's just not for me right now. Don't think it's the right slate.
Makes some sense. 1 game left on the slate. Looking at the likes, we need 10 more likes. I know you guys will get it done for us. I set the numbers so we could get you the plays of the day. Get that good mojo rolling for this main slate. 9 games. It's a fun one. Big prize pools as always. So like button, subscribe button. We do appreciate it as always. Last game, Diamondbacks, San Francisco Giants, Zach Davies, Carlos Rodon on the mound. Mangone, I'll go back to you. Zach Davies is someone I like picking on, but man, it's cold in San Fran, 60 degrees. This lineup, it's always pinch hit risk. What are your thoughts on these Giants? I'm curious what you and Gary got to say. And I assume no one against Rodon, but that's a leverage spot if you want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, 7.5 total. I typically don't play those. Maybe I did talk about, now I want to backtrack. No, I haven't talked up any 7.5 total today. So I made sure not to. So that's at least good. And I'm going to stick to that. Like, it just don't think it's too necessary for me. I get it. Zach Davies, you can pick on him with some of these options. If you want to do like a cheap Brandon Crawford, it's like a one-off to help make things work in your lineup. That's perfectly fine. I don't think it's a bad approach, mainly because look at the shortstop position. I think a lot of people are spending up at shortstop today. So what's the way to be different? You spend down at the shortstop position to give you a little bit of a different construction than some other people. Maybe it's a Brandon Belt at 2.9K. Don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But again, not looking to load up on these Giants here. Maybe as like a mini stack, you could make the argument, like a couple guys I talked about here and there, but I think there's other mini stacks I just prefer today. And I'm not obviously playing Arizona against Rodon. I think that's just not a great route.
What's your thoughts, Gary?
Yeah, I mean, I like initial thought when I did the free article last night for today's slate. I was going to like some San Francisco bats, but man, I can't do it. I mean, just the pinch hit risk of all these lefties, you never know. Brandon Crawford's been really bad. I can't do it. I think he's going to get some ownership. I think he's being tagged on a couple different sites as a popular value play. So I can't do it. I'm going to go everywhere. I'm going to go other spots tonight, and I'm going to fade this game for bets.
Makes some sense. That is all 9 games on this slate. Let's get into the stacks. I see the like button. You guys did get it done. So we'll get you the plays of the day. We definitely can still do a lot better than 226. I appreciate if you do hit it. When you do hit it, that big red subscribe button as well to the bottom right. We appreciate it. But we'll get you the plays of the day after the stacks. Gary, I'll go to you first. Give me your top 3 stacks of the day.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Houston 1, the Dodgers 2, and the Guardians 3.
I like it. Man, go.
Yeah, I'm queuing something up, Title. The best stack of the day is the Mets stack, right? Get the trumpets going, Simon. Hopefully
turn it up.
Get in trouble for this, but
turn it up.
I tried. It's the best I could do. I just thought of it last second, but we'll go with the Mets. Number 1. That's my favorite stack of the day. Second favorite stack. We'll go with Texas. I think they're really interesting. Definitely going to be a team that I look at. Like I said, I think the 5-man's pretty good with some of those big power bats. And I think mini stack wise, it could work out pretty well for you. And then last stack I'm going to go with, let's Title, you said it yesterday. I don't think you've ever listed Oakland in there, but let's list Oakland, right? I think 9 total is really interesting in that Rangers game. It's the right slate for it, and the mini stack is going to be very valuable for me. It's not going to be a 5-man. I already talked about the other 2 could be 5-man stack, so this is more of the mini stack with all the 2K guys that can help make everything work for my lineups.
Yeah, if you were on the right Oakland guys yesterday, they did get the job done for the slate. Again, you did have to be on the right ones, though some didn't get the job done. So let's get into the plays of the day. I will start with myself first with the SO play of the day. I'm going to go, actually, I didn't even really mention them, but it is on the Astros. I do like the idea of spending up at pitcher today, so I want to go a little cheaper. Give me Chas McCormick in the 8-hole at 2.5K. I like this Astros team. I think you can play him 1 through 9. Don't think he really sees any ownership. He gets you a salary discount if you do want to pay up, or you do want to play the Jordan, Bregman, Kyle Tucker, all of that. Or if you want to play the Mets or whatever, I'll let you choose to spend those. But I think Chas McCormick for cheap at 2.5 makes some sense in a team I like. Let's go you, man. Going Sweet Travis play of the day. Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I gave you a 2K guy yesterday. He delivered. We're gonna now spend our money. We're gonna go really high up, and it's gonna be hard to do today, right? Shortstop. We're gonna go Francisco Lindor. I think a lot of people are not gonna put him in their Met stacks as much. They're gonna see the 6K tag. People are also gonna go to Corey Seager and Trey Turner for cheaper and just assume, oh, I'll go with it. Maybe they'll put Trey Turner in there for 200 less just to kind of get the extra $200 to get something else. I think Francisco Lindor goes really under-owned, got that BVP in his favor, and I think he takes Jake Odorizzi yard today.
I like it. Travis Duarte said, how about Kerry Carpenter? I mean, man, AP was all over him yesterday. A couple guys were. The dude just looks like a complete stud. So guys like that, if you want to play him, I think you can play him, but no Tigers over here. I mean, I didn't even know if they were on this slate, and they are against the Guardian, against Gary's boy, Cal Quantrill. So if you want a little one-off there, but it doesn't sound like we're going to get there. Gary, the groundhog play of the day, cap it off for us.
So I absolutely love hot streaks in baseball. This guy has just been on a tear since the All-Star break over the last couple weeks. He's going to hit another dong today. It's with the Astros, Alex Bregman.
I almost took him from you. I really debated it, but yeah, I knew you were going somewhere on the Astros. I definitely like that call. Alex Bregman, Francisco Lindor, Chas McCormick as the 3 plays of the day. It was a fun show, a good Wednesday slate. Hopefully the early slate's going well for some people. Nice 6 game on the early slate, 9 gamer tonight. A lot of different ways you can go, and you heard some different opinions. Gary not going to the top 2 pitchers, Scherzer, Rodon. They're going to be the chalkiest. Getting a little different route, going cheaper. Mangone likes them. So it'll be an interesting slate. Get into the premium show, the live show chat. Listen to DC. Big T will probably be on there. See what they got to say coming off the Mariners call yesterday. Playbook, core plays, cash chart, all of that up. If you're not a member, you need to be it to see all of that, to see the golf show Tambo and Big T did. NFL 15 is the promo code. Gets you 15% off every single month for the life of your subscription. Hit that like button on the way out, please. Hit that big red subscribe button on the way out. We will see you tomorrow. For Mangone, Gary, Simon Behind the Sticks, I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.